When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport, and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Thank you for getting your pot on. Thanks for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. I'm excited today. I got to start somewhere that's not a very happy place, but I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited, and I said to Danny, we have a new series that he and I can do podcast-wise. Because only he and I have done this, and it'll be interesting and kind of fun. But I hesitate, and yet I am not sure how to. Never know how to say these things. So I'll just kind of go, and I hope everybody understands that I don't want to be speaking out of turn on anything. But I think that most people that know and love the Broomfield family are aware of this. Billy Broomfield is kind of a big figure in the Fairport community. And I say big figure because he just seems to know everybody. He grew up here. He was an athlete here. He married, has two really lovely daughters and went to the Fairport High School. And I think both went to the University of Vermont. One's a freshman. I think one is a senior or graduated already. I don't remember. It's just really great people and great stuff. So, and I had gone away on the trip that Mac does to the Adirondacks where we all do the ATVs. I remember Jordan rolled it, and Billy was awesome. Billy was awesome during that whole thing because he was one of the first people to run over and make sure we were okay. I mean, he's just that guy. And one of the things that I always like, and you never want to say these things, but what really, and I don't know other way to say it, really touched me deeply in my soul was Billy listened to every episode of this podcast. And he would listen he would get up at 4:30 in the morning and lay in bed. And his wife, Meg, has said to me, I hear you in my bed every morning because I hear your voice. And I love that Billy listened. I mean, it was like it was one of the nicest from the jump. And when I had bitched on the podcast when we were doing it from my place that there was a day that all I did was work and I was in my underwear sitting at the table. And I was like, oh my God, how do people work from home? I'm going to lose my mind. And I said something about that on the podcast, and Max said, hey, let's do something. And then Billy came to me and said, let's do something because he had space right above where we were in Packett's Landing. And I went over, and I wasn't sure how serious Mac was. And, I mean, I knew Mac, but I didn't know him all that well. And obviously, Mac has been the most amazing. And I could never say anything, but Billy was right there. And then Billy said to me, no, Mac was serious. He goes, I didn't. And I said, oh, okay. All right, great. So that's, we went with Mac. And, but Billy was always there and around. And a couple weeks ago, I like to just stop in at the end of the week and catch up with my buddies. And I always text one, hey, are you going to be there? And usually if he's there, everybody's there. So I go in and, one of the things I'll say is I love these guys because they don't say shit. If it's not their story to tell, they're much like me, and this isn't even anything we've ever really talked about. They don't say anything. So Billy's wife had boy, I hope I'm not upsetting anybody, but Billy's wife, from what I understood, had a cough that just would not go away. And So I see Billy, and he starts kind of talking, and the other guy, my friend Tony, was there, and he already knew the story, so they're talking, and I went, what's going on? He's like, Meg had a cough that wouldn't go away, and we went to the doctor, and they think it's pretty bad, and they think it's, like, everywhere.
Okay.
Right? Like, she didn't know. It was, like, in her lungs and lesions in her brain, and I don't know. And he said, but we have an oncologist appointment on Friday. Danny, I swear to God, that was like 3 weeks ago. And I've been wanting to text Billy, but I never, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you just want to be that, you know, and what is a text? Nothing, right? But I honestly debated in my head, hey, I wonder how Meg's doing. I got to check. I got to send Billy a text. I don't want to bug him, though. I'm sure I'll see these guys. I'll find out at the pub. And then, like, it never came up at times when I was there, but it's only been like 2-3 weeks since I had learned that. So it was heavy on my mind, and you and I taped over the weekend. Or no, when did we tape? Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Wednesday night, I guess Mac came in here. I never saw him. Did you see him?
No.
Okay. So he said he saw us here, and he was coming in because he wanted to talk to me. And then I came in here. I had a meeting, a Zoom meeting. So I need these cameras because the one on my, just because of the software, things are inverted. Doesn't matter. So I'm in here, and he pokes his head in, and I'm on a Zoom meeting. And then I'm sitting over where you were, and I was kind of studying for a thing for school. And he came in and said, Meg died. And I went, oh, my God. That was the quickest. I don't think there. I know nothing about that. It just was so, like, I mean, it hit me like a ton of bricks. 53-year-old woman, if I'm right. Lovely. I had spent a lot of time kind of with her when we went up to the Adirondacks because Billy, they have a cornhole tournament, and Billy made it to the finals. We wanted Billy to win so badly, you know, and I was like so impressed. Like, Billy's a ringer. The guy's just good at whatever he does. And I just, it floored me. And I knew a bunch of people were going over to his house and checking up on him and all. And I felt like that wasn't really my place to kind of do that. I mean, we're friendly friends. I, certainly would invite Billy anywhere, and I think vice versa. But I just, I don't know. I feel terrible for his daughters, and it was shocking. In like, it was so fast. It was just so fast. And maybe I don't want to get into all that, right? Because we could certainly go, maybe it's a good thing. He didn't have to, I don't know.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man. It just like, it's really one of those that you go, ooh, wow. You just don't know. Now, here's the other effed up part of this. And it's your fault, Daniel.
I know what you're going to say.
What?
She was my age.
Nope.
Because every time somebody dies, well, how old are they? Okay, and then I find out what their age is. Okay, what did they die of?
Oh, right. No.
And then you find out it was drugs. Oh, I'm so relieved.
Yeah, I say that all the time. No, that's not it. This is your fault. You said something on the last podcast. What did you say? You don't remember.
I said a lot of stuff.
I know, but you may not remember this.
I say a lot of things. I'm like an iPod shuffle of thoughts. We've been over this.
You brought up Dr. Mark Hyman.
Yes.
So I went and I looked at it, and I'm seeing all the things so once I looked at it, now it floods my Instagram feed. I get nothing.
Hey, Billy, you want to talk with Dr. Mark Hyman?
Well, I get it for like
7,000 labs for just $400.
It's like $369 twice a year. They'll run these really comprehensive labs.
Yeah.
And then now I'm getting like Tony Robbins thing and
hi, Bill.
Tony's his function health, but then people are complaining that Tony, like, you get to talk to a clinician, but they really try to sell you their supplements and stuff.
That's what it like Nutrisicles or something like that. It's Life Force.
Yes,
that's his big thing.
So and that Dr. Hyman. You'll get notes and things from doctors, but they don't really explain enough to you, and you're kind of left on your own, and there is no like plan for you. I'm not sure if that's exactly true. Those are some of the reviews or things I read.
Right.
So I've been debating in my head since then. Do I do it? Do I not do it? Do I do it? Do I not do it? So and then I'm talking to one of my buddies, about all this stuff too, and he says to me, because I go, hey, man, I said, it's so weird. I was just looking at this thing from Dr. Hyman that you can, which, by the way, great name. I mean, that's the greatest name. I mean, come on. I'm sorry. That's the juvenile in me. But so I was thinking, like, do you run these and do you want to know? And then I'm like, what if there's something there and I don't want to know? Am I better for knowing? Am I not better for knowing? Do I need to, like, you know? And I'm not sleeping enough, and I know I'm not sleeping enough, and that's been my big battle with myself. The last couple of days I have been in bed by 10:30, and it's made a big world of difference for me. So I've been kind of on this thing, and then this happens, where you find out, right? And you think, oh boy. And then as I'm talking to one of my buddies, he's like, yeah, you know, he goes, you could have, he goes, you couldn't have your insurance pay for it. He goes, I had a 3D MRI of my heart. And he goes, I don't know what they found, but they want me to come back in April. And I'm like, well, they found that big iceberg in the fucking middle of your cold, mean heart.
Oh.
Hey! But so now I'm like all freaked out. And I go, do I do this or do I not? Connors & Ferris handles workers' comp, Social Security disability, and personal injury cases. Listen, I get it. Workers' comp claims can be a real pain. But Connors & Ferris are here to fight for you and get you the compensation you deserve. Whether you threw out your back on the job, slipped when you should have gripped, or your boss thinks overtime means free labor. Spoiler, it doesn't. They've got your back at Connors & Ferris. With offices in New York City, Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo, they're the go-to team for getting the compensation you deserve. No gimmicks, no nonsense, just real results. Call Connors & Ferris, 262-COMP. That's 262-COMP for Connors & Ferris. Ever look at your wall and think, that hole definitely wasn't there yesterday? Or maybe your faucet's got a drip that's slowly driving you into madness. That's when you got to call my buddies at Mac of All Trades, because it's your home. And if you don't have the skills to fix it yourself, go to the people who do. And trust me, there's nobody better than Mac of All Trades. They do everything. Leaky faucet, they got it. Drafty windows and doors, done. Electrical, plumbing, carpentry, sure. Full kitchen or bathroom remodel, oh yeah, they'll do that too. From patching the hole that someone made by definitely not slamming the door to transforming your entire space. Mac of All Trades gets it done quickly and the right way. Stop putting up with cold drafts and half-finished to-do lists. Give them a call at 585-202-9218 or find them online at macofalltrades.net. Get started on that to-do list today. Mac of All Trades. No job too small. You know, podcasts are more about nuance, right? They're more about kind of, reflection and shared humanity. And they're not, well, humor still matters. I don't think most podcasts that are very successful isn't usually the shock dominance. If it's shock, it's somebody who's a huge star telling us a story, right? But most podcasts, you're getting some kind of value out of it, or it's
more informational, more niche.
Yeah, right. You know? So let me play this. This is from the Break Room, January 3rd, 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fairly quickly. Yesterday, Christian Dan told us this was his first adult Christmas.
Do you remember this? It was my first adult Christmas, is what Christian Dan said to us.
I'm trying to figure out why.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. Here it comes.
He got tools.
And a gas grill.
And a gas grill that he's afraid to use as a gas grill.
Fears.
Dude, there is so, you see the life force that Tommy brought to a program.
Yes, still does.
I don't listen. I'm at a habit of listening, and I need to, because he's so fantastic. And I always said to Tommy, you are the best I've ever seen at this in radio.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Absolute freaking best.
We laughed at him.
We mock.
I want to play this stuff with Hannah Storm because I didn't know it. Tommy told me that.
Do you remember what?
Yeah, Hannah Storm got burned.
Yeah, well, listen, we got
badly.
the whole thing.
Okay.
And you get the name of, you give me the wrong name for for David Muir.
Oh, okay.
You called him Jim.
He was badly injured just before the holidays, I think.
Yeah, she was wheeling the gas grill out. It was cold out. Right. And I guess, like a lot of people do in the garage. You
Well, see, that's so great that you say that.
Fired it up.
Is because there are many people that do grill in their garage.
It's kind of like half in, half out with it kind of open, right?
Yeah, but sometimes they'll open the door and they may have it inside the garage.
Right.
This, if what happened to Hannah Storm happened inside your garage, phew, I wonder if you're worse. If you're injured,
blown apart.
Well, I don't know. Here's the setup, and this just made me laugh. Forgive me, I'm forgetting.
Jim Muir.
Is that his name?
Yep.
Jim Muir?
I went to school with a Jim Muir at Fisher.
All right.
That's why I probably said Jim Muir.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
He's still on the air, by the way, at ABC News.
David
Muir.
Yeah, he's the anchor now.
Yeah.
Filling in on ABC World News Tonight,
right?
Okay.
Where it's normally Diane Sawyer. Here is Jim Muir.
Tonight here, though, a powerful lesson and the images of Hannah in the days after the explosion. And we warn you, they are difficult to look at.
I don't know why that made me laugh, but I go, I feel bad for her.
Sure.
All right. Now, I want you to listen to this, the rest of this. I think we just let it play. It is a little lengthy, okay? We'll let it play, and then at the end, and there's nothing in there that is so bad. But my question is, if this was on air today, could we do it 13 years later? Has the world changed enough that this wouldn't play?
Okay.
And we'll see what you say to that.
But she put it out there, man.
How ballsy of her to allow that to happen. Now, here is his interview with Hannah Storm. We'll just pause it as we go through.
I went outside on a chilly night to light a propane grill. I went back inside, went out to check and see how hot the grill was, and the flames had been blown out. The cover of the grill was open, so I assumed, logically, as I guess most people would be, that there wouldn't be any gas in the air. Well, propane is actually heavier than air, and especially in cold weather, it tends to sit on top of the grill and pool inside and underneath the grill. So the second I relit the flame, after I turned the gas off, I relit the flame, and it was a wall of fire, a huge explosion. So much force that it blew the doors of the grill completely off.
You said the explosion was so loud, a neighbor thought a tree had come through their house?
A neighbor clear across the street thought that a tree had fallen through his roof. That's how loud.
All right. You catching this? Mm-hmm. Now imagine that happening inside a contained space.
To Danny.
To anybody. But yeah, let's make it Danny.
Well, because he fears the gas grill.
Okay. So what is it about humor that we have to pick on one guy because we bond over beating you up?
Oh, yeah.
Like
it was constantly a 2-on-1.
Yeah, but I mean, but there's something about control or belonging that comes with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you felt.
Well, there were times when it could get a little too far and embarrassing. But as I always said, and I learned, like if I ever write the book, The 10 Rules of the Break Room, one of those is like, if you can't make fun of yourself, don't make fun of anybody else. If you can't laugh at yourself, don't laugh at anybody else. Well, I know people who've laughed at jokes about junkies that all of a sudden had a relative die. Oh, that's not funny. Well, when you were laughing, it was. Yeah. But now that it affects you, it's not so funny, is it? So make up your freaking mind.
I laugh at all the shit people say to me. I'm
have.
old now.
Yeah.
But I have my buddies who will always go, hey, so-and-so thinks you have a toupee. You got to dye your hair. There's no way, and or they'll call me all kinds of really bad pejoratives, and I just laugh. I don't know why. Because I think at this point, I'm sick. I know what I am.
When you laugh, it kind of deflects the whole situation.
Yeah, but I mean, I kind of
who cares? Like, you
I kind of enjoy it, and I always feel like that was how my dad was such a ball buster with me that I felt loved, so that was kind of thing. But I will say this. I'm not sure that anything you're about to hear is evil as much as maybe it's not evolved.
Okay.
Right? Well, I'll put it that way. Let's see.
And now he has more fear.
But I can't tell you how many times I stupidly have kind of done the same thing. Where I've turned the gas on when it's cold, and then
just drop a match in there.
I
told you my girlfriend had junky ass gas grill she had for years, so we kind of used it this year. Remember I told you the flames were shooting out underneath it and stuff? I had to like monitor it.
Yes.
And all I would do is I would pop it open, crank open the gas, and then I would just stand back. And I'd have to hold her dog because dogs want to smell the grill because it's got the food around it. So I'd have to hold on to the little dog, and then I'd just flick a match in, and it would go up, and then it'd be fine. And then I'd just go over and turn the knobs down, and we start cooking.
Here's a little bit more with Hannah Storm. And by the way, she's live at the Rose Bowl parade where she's covering it.
Hand all bandaged up, and she looks beautiful.
She does. And
but most of the damage was to her chest.
Well, yeah.
Roasted them boobs, bro.
Up her neck.
Yeah.
Too, here.
The explosion was, and it happened in a split second, and immediately I was on fire. So my hair was on fire, my chest and the whole top of my shirt was on fire. I didn't know what to do other than I'm left-handed, reach and just get the shirt off of me as quickly as possible. So that's why my hand is so badly damaged. I yelled inside to my 15-year-old daughter who was in the kitchen, "Mommy's on fire."
Now she starts to cry here. When she's saying,
"Mommy's
that was you
on fire." Yeah, I know. You're doing great. What do you got to brag about? Fine. Man, Mom's on fire, baby.
She starts to choke up at this point, Hannah Storm.
This girl is on fire. I
remember this.
And she came outside. I know she was one of the people who was with you every step of the way.
I told her I was on fire. I asked her to call 911. Of course, like all teenagers, she picks up her cell phone and calls 911.
I know that you went to the hospital, and it wasn't until the next day you actually had a chance to see yourself. And
right. The skin was burned. There were red, actually flame marks on my neck. You could tell where the flames had been licking up on my neck, and I was very disfigured and without hair, eyelashes, eyebrows. It was a sight to behold, let me tell you.
You look as beautiful as ever, but I know this was a tough road, and you have a whole team who helped you get ready for this broadcast today.
Listen, I had the access to, I spent an hour in hair and makeup this morning. I have on false eyelashes. This is all fake hair.
Got extensions.
When the makeup artist brushed an eyebrow on me, I almost stood up and kissed her this morning. But it is a hard road for burn victims. I was by far the most fortunate person in my burn unit.
Hannah, I wanted to go back to the grill. You had mentioned that you would actually turn the propane off, which would sound to me like what anyone should do. So what more could you have done to prevent it?
If your grill has been lit, but the lighter did not ignite for a period of time, the chances are very good that there is a lot of propane still sitting in the area. So just turning it off and relighting your grill isn't sufficient. You have to wait a long period of time for all of that propane to dissipate before you would try to reignite your grill.
And that was you.
Wait, hang on.
You're such a dick.
You are a douche. You're a bigger douche than Tommy today.
What do you mean?
Come on, man.
I happen to have it on my iPhone.
Yeah, but we expect...
We'll make the remix. This Christian's on fire. And Danny lights his grill.
Look,
So how do you feel about gas grilling now?
Well, actually, I saw the piece on at the Rose Bowl parade. I watched that piece, and so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm on the right track. I always like charcoal taste.
Look,
anyway.
Wait, so you will not operate a gas grill because of this?
Hang on. This is so, I don't know. I don't know if we could do that today.
I don't think we could. Everybody's offended. Everyone's got a phone. Everyone likes to tweet and message how pissed off they are.
Right. I mean, and I don't know if I'd want to do it. This woman suffered unbelievably.
And I even said that, I used to get crap from our old boss, Bob Barnett. You need to act more like a Christian in the room. And I'm like, but Tommy's so funny.
Oh, my God.
And you try that. Everybody who's upstairs that can tell you how to do a radio show, the irony is none of them can do one.
All right, hang on.
But no, go back. But that moment, I was like, Tommy, really? We're gonna make fun of this poor woman for
he wasn't though that bad.
Oh yeah, right.
It wasn't that.
It was more you than it was him.
Well, I played the song. It was on my phone. That's why as I'm listening, I go, "Why is it so tinny?" I go, "Oh,
that's right.
That was me.
That was you.
That was my phone.
That wasn't me.
Yes,
that was you.
I know. But okay.
Yeah.
So look, I like to think. Pulling back the mask, it's shockingly funny, but I would laugh quietly, and that was the beauty of radio. Most people were in their car on their way to work by themselves,
right?
By
they didn't have to look across the room.
So you didn't have to
and see somebody get offended. Oh, now I'm offended,
right? But even now, you go. I can't answer. I want to play this last part though because it goes back to Dan
screwed up ovens. I've screwed up stoves. I've melted spatulas. Oh yeah,
Sports talk shows.
Oh yeah, Still, I've been
midday talk shows.
Prophetic.
I've done
St.
it all.
John Fisher games. Hold on, we're not done yet.
My pets' heads are falling off.
Well, look.
I've come a long way, baby.
Well, no, but the thing was like, look, this isn't. I want to make something abundantly clear. This is not cancel culture talk. This is adult culture talk.
Yes.
Okay? And adult culture talk is about evolution. In my opinion, that's what I would say it's about. So the cancel culture would be, well, fuck these guys. You can't do that. This is a woman who suffered immensely. Mm-hmm. You have nothing to rate. How could you be so callous? How could you be so anything? I think that in there you did. I'm not sure. I don't have an answer. It's walking a line. I think I was probably walking a line then, but I was very comfortable doing it, and it fit the brand of what we were doing. And again, you go back to sort of the alpha shock male, and you're talking about, this is where radio was a service. You were talking about it as something that was timely and in the moment, right? The Hannah Storm story. It's something that every time I see her, I think about it. But her daughter, who was 15, is now 28. That was 13 years ago. 13 years ago.
Yeah, I look at it and go, listen, I think you should be able to have discussions in the context of being an adult. And I think that anytime somebody goes to try to cancel somebody, it's a power play. What's their end game? Their end game is to try to get control. They're trying to sell you something here. They sold me the idea that this was a coup, and seriously.
I know.
And he said something that Rex Ryan said when Rex Ryan became the head coach of the team. Right. And the opposite. Rex Ryan said, you know what I want to do? I like getting together with the offensive linemen. Why? Because that was his former coach's specialty that didn't quite work out. So Rex is coming in at that time and saying, I'm going to fix what the last coach said he was going to and didn't, right?
Yeah.
Now here comes Joe Brady. We're going to have an aggressive defense.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. So in other words, hey, let's look at what the old coach was able to do, but what his strengths were, but he didn't do well, and now I'm going to fix that. Yeah. In other words, let's say all the right. It was like literally color by number press conference.
All right, I see you. Your blood starting.
Oh, just read the article I wrote. I sent it to you.
I know you did.
I mentioned you.
I have not had an opportunity. I will read it.
I actually mentioned you. I said there are only two guys in America who had this right. And I wrote in parentheses, lucky.
All right. Well, I will check it out. But it is that I think that's an evergreen thing. You're going to address the weakness and say, I'll fix it. If it was a bend not break defense, which is what what's his name would talk about, I maybe an aggressive defense would be the answer to that. I don't know. Look, that seems to be the problem. Your offense put up 29 points a game. Your defense was letting in 30. We can't, you know what I mean? I may be off on the stats.
No, you're not, because our friend Peter, as I'm driving in, sent me a stat. And in the regular season, they took the last 5 years of playoff teams, the 11 best playoff teams of the last 5 years, the teams that played the most playoff games the last 5 years. The regular season stats, the Bills were near the top in defense of those 11 playoff teams.
Yeah.
Come playoffs, they were the worst.
Yeah.
That's telling.
And I don't know that was anything other than a roster, right? I don't know.
It could be, or could be coaching.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out.
They haven't hired a defensive coordinator as of right now.
No.
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
They hired an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I had seen something.
Uninspired.
We'll
Billy, when it comes to the Buffalo Bills, I know every word that comes out of my mouth.
So pissed off, though. Come on.
I'm not pissed off. I'm honest.
Get a little angry. Don't get angry.
I'm being angry. I'm being honest.
The other day you were great when you said.
I wasn't great today?
No.
The other day I was great when what?
When you said, it was great when you said, this doesn't really affect my life, blah, blah, blah. But I'm seeing your face and stuff. I don't want you to be
It doesn't, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. Right. But I'm just pointing out facts.
Okay. All right.
You're not going to get this analysis anywhere else.
I agree.
You'll get different type of analyses, but you're not going to get this, especially in Rochester.
Because nobody wants to talk to you. No, I'm kidding.
That's true.
Oh, stop it. That's not true. My God.
That's their loss.
All right. We're going to wrap it up. I'd like to do something like this again.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
If I go back and
that was
find
fun.
some things. I mean, it was fun to hear.
I miss hearing Tommy's voice.
That was, and he was so damn funny. So damn funny. Little trip down memory lane. Would it play today?
It's Doug with nails.
Yeah, that was my favorite because I said gutters, and the nails is just so much funnier. Joe Nails, Doug Nails. For Dan Barillo, who used to be Christian Dan.
I still am a Christian,
Well,
just not known as Christian.
I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
You are, yes. And we've made that abundantly clear.
Yeah.
Too.
Hey, no swearing today. I was proud of you.
Oh, I didn't?
I don't think you swore much.
Awesome.
Maybe no, you did actually. Yeah, because we talked about number 2. So yeah.
I'm Bill Moran.
Getting better.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Somewhere in Nevada, cold outside, she was shivering in the dark while Bert her ride.